the fashion industry has to evolve on many fronts, right? So there's the supply chain front where sustainability, supply chain shifts, tariffs are really making manufacturers sit up and wondering what the next month or the next year is going to look like.
Energy and water are major challenges for the fashion industry, but Q Collection is tackling this head-on with solar-powered facilities, rainwater harvesting systems, and much more.
Right now, we are pushing the boundary further with a zero liquid discharge system. This means that every drop of industrial wastewater is treated, recycled, and reused. Nothing goes back into the environment. So ZLD isn't just about compliance, it's also about responsibility, especially in this part of Bangladesh where water is a sacred, scarce resource over here.
Meanwhile, back on the factory floor, machines like Lectra cutters and 3D knitting systems reduce material waste and improve efficiency.
Sustainability is an increasingly urgent focus for design education, and at Raffles Design it's being explored through innovations in circularity and materials. Raffles Design of Verena Lee's submission for the Society of Dyers and Colorists competition involved taking natural dyes from cabbage and pandan leaves. Instead of using water-based dyes, she developed a paste with food waste.
It is a must for us, especially as a designer, to be able to create something that give impact, that give education to people, also to inspire ways to be able to create something else instead of throwing it away.
Every single piece that is shown here has hand-embroidered, cross-stitch and beading elements, all done by me. We as a human race have to preserve the tradition and the hard work that our ancestors have created for us.
Every time that we wear and we care our synthetic clothes, our clothes shed microplastic to the environment. And those microplastics persist for over 450 years in the river, soil, and oceans. So that's why we need to tackle that problem. We have developed a technology called Redefine, which is the technology in the fiber that help to accelerate the biodegradation process in synthetic fiber. So Redefine helped to reduce the biodegradation period from 450 years into 4.5 years.
Nan Yang Textile Group ensures that the additives which help the Redefine fabric break down quickly are also safe for marine life.
Reducing the environmental footprint of all fabrics and textiles is a key priority at the Future Fibres Hub. With 70% of textile fibres still sourced from oil, the key is to find natural alternatives. Dr. Lucas Rosson is exploring another pathway that uses food waste to grow fibres using microbes.
So a large portion of microplastics are coming from textiles. Our clothing is shedding all of the time.
Every week, we eat 5 grams of the microplastic. That's about a credit card size.
The edge is having the ability to not only sort of hypothesize about something and do a little lab scale experiment that sort of verifies it, we can take that up to the fabric scale and say, look what we can do. We've proven that you can make it into a fabric or that it performs this way as a fabric. And then we can pass that on to manufacturers.
We produce in excess, and as it comes closer to the end of season, we mark down. But with AI, now we can actually read patterns. It could be consumer patterns, holiday seasons, weather patterns, etc., to then figure out how can we produce on time at the correct amount. So yes, it's a huge sustainability angle to it, but actually for companies to really sit up and take note, it's actually a huge cost savings.
Delivering circularity at scale depends on collaboration. Together with innovators, Lululemon is advancing textile to textile recycling.
By partnering with Samsara Eco, we have helped create the world's first enzymatically recycled nylon 6/6 product. This breakthrough demonstrates how textile to textile recycling can meet performance standards while reducing reliance on virgin or fossil fuel-based inputs.
Lululemon says quality is at the heart of its circularity strategy, so that for customers, there's no tangible difference between garments made from virgin and recycled fabrics.
YKK's revived renewable components are designed to provide an efficient and resource-friendly way to repair damaged zippers. The repair process is simple. When an element on the zipper tape breaks, it can be replaced with a die-cast component.
The top stop is actually one of the special feature of the zip itself, where the whole slider, most of the time when the slider is broken down or the slider is already used up for a long time, you have to replace the entire zip, or worst case, most of the time the consumers have to throw it away. But this new particular Revive top stop we have created in such a way that the slider can be removed from the top stop and you can replace with a new one, and the garments are good to go again.
Change is a constant. It's extremely, extremely important to continually upskill, rescale yourself, to just be aware of the changes that are just over the horizon. Because navigating through a fog is extremely dangerous, especially if you're running a company.